Great, and we're live. So welcome everybody to this remote interview. My name is Lisette, and I'm interviewing people and companies doing great things remotely. Today on the line, all the way from Darmstadt, Germany, I have Manuel Pistner. And Manuel, you are a virtual team enthusiast and the founder of flashhub.io. So we're going to get into that in a second about why you built this company, and you built a virtual team. So we're going to talk about all of these things. But let's start with, what does your virtual office look like? What do you need to get your work done?
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. I'm very excited to be on that podcast. So I still have an office, but I can still decide where I want to go, where I want to work, and with whom I want to work. We have this office here because a year ago, we've been a normal domestic agency delivering a niche technology service for web applications with Drupal and mobile apps. But during this year, we've transformed our local agency to a full virtual agency. That means previously in January even, we've been 40 people here in Darmstadt. And now we are almost 180 people all around the globe. And that's a completely different thing. So what I need from my equipment is my laptop, a headset, my phone, and that's it. So I can work from everywhere in the world where I want. I enjoy working on vacations while sometimes sitting at the beach, watching the waves and talking to people. That is very inspiring. And the most inspiring thing is that every day you meet so many smart people, experts from all over the world that have to share a story and that really contribute a very, very good work to your projects. And that helps to learn every day and to move forward faster than I could ever imagine.
Wow. So you've actually transitioned from co-located to remote and scaled your team from 40 to 180 people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and
an accomplishment.
Today, it was just in October this year, another agency, which is in Hamburg, in the very north of Germany, joined our company because they saw a huge chance in that. They were struggling with a gap of talent locally. They couldn't find developers, and some developers left because they were headhunted for other companies. And what happened then is that we talked about the same situation, and I talked to him how I transformed my company to a virtual company. And he said, wow, that's great, I want to join. So we merged together, and now they were a very small agency with 10 people doing only one technology, Drupal. And now they can offer full services with all these virtual people that we can provide them.
Wow. And you're doing that then through flashhub.io. Is that correct?
Yes. So first I did it with my own company. I transformed everything, and I have a virtual steering team of 23 people that help me to grow the company and to operate the company. Those are my virtual assistants. And with flashhub.io, we provide fully managed virtual teams or virtual teams as a service for other companies that don't want to have the struggles with finding the right people and how to compose the right team and how to lead the team and how to set up the proper workflows and tools. We just give them a virtual team with everything set up. We control the team and manage the team, and they just enjoy results and can gather requirements as input for the virtual team. That's what we do with FlashUp, because I want that other companies benefit from the same way as we did, but much faster.
Indeed. So then the idea is, I as a customer have a project that I need developers for. I would come to you and say, I've got this project. I need a team, and I don't know how to find a team. And then you take over from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not only developers, because you need to find the right experts for specific disciplines, and then create a virtual team which consists of experts in different roles. And by having these specific roles, you ensure quality by design of the team. If you keep away all the administrative work from people, and that's what we do, they can contribute the maximum by their expertise to the whole project. And that is one very important thing that we want to give to other customers. And this is not for software development projects only, it's for support teams. We have virtual support teams from Mexico to the Philippines, and they are even native speakers. So they offer 24/7 support to our customers. And we have HR teams, a virtual HR team. We have marketing teams. We have business development teams, software development teams. So everything that you can do with a virtual team, this is what we do and how we compose virtual teams for our customers.
Wow, great. So we're going to dive into some of the details of that. But first, I want to ask about the transition.
Mhm.
First, why did you transition? And then I'd love to hear a little bit about how you did it, because tons of companies would like to, and they have no idea where to start.
Mm. Everything starts with pressure and leaving your comfort zone, you know. I had one project that crashed on my desk. So there were project managers here in the company. They were not able to deliver the project. And I had to, restore it, keep it alive, and deliver it finally. And the story was we had a content migration, a manual one, in 3.5 months with 8,000 pages, which is a lot of work. And we tried to hire an outsourcing company in the Ukraine so they could do the migration automatically. After 3 months passed, and we only had 4 weeks, they said, sorry, that's not possible. It cannot be automated because the systems are too different. And then I thought, okay, now I need many people and cheap people, so I go to India. And I hired a project manager in India, an independent project manager, a freelancer. And this person should find an outsourcing agency in India. So I thought I can bridge the cultural gap and have shared responsibilities, which leads to better quality. Then this person found an agency, but I only had contact to the account manager. And this account manager showed me every day like 10 pages. But 10 pages compared to 8,000, that's not representative. And I had no idea which people were working behind this account manager. I had no access, nor did I have an idea of their profile, what they can do, how many there are. And one day before the deadline, it was on Thursday morning, 5:30, and the deadline was on Friday. I got an email, sorry, I have to cancel the job. We can't deliver the project.
Oh my God.
Yes, and that's how I felt. There was lots of pressure, and I thought, can't be the truth, because locally we were not able to deliver it. With an outsourcing agency in Ukraine was not possible. Indian guys failed on that, so what to do now? Okay, then I decided I find a project manager, and she's now our virtual lead of operations. Her name is Janet. She's from Canada, now lives in Barcelona. And I asked her to help me with that situation. She told me I need to find an HR person. This person needs to find recruiters. We did that in a day. And in even the same day, this HR team, a virtual HR team, staffed me a team of 25 people that were specialized in quality assurance and manual content management. And they migrated everything from Thursday to Monday. And this was an absolute surprise. It was even a more surprise because they committed to work 14 hours every day, each individual person. They canceled all their family appointments during the weekend and committed to deliver everything, and they did. And that was a power I felt that I never want to miss, and that was a way of doing projects that I never want to miss. That was the time where the idea of Flash Hub was born, because I thought, okay, now I will transform my whole agency to virtual work, and I want other companies to make the same experience if they have the same struggles that I had.
But you also had 2 very negative experiences before this positive. I mean, you had the Ukraine team and
even
the
more.
Indian team that didn't deliver. So why did it work why did Janet make it happen?
Because I had direct access to people. You know, if you work with a company and you hire a team in this company, most likely you have an account manager and you talk to the account manager. Then you have a quality assurance person and maybe a development team, but they all share a common interest, the interest of the company. If I have freelancers that only work for their own interest, then they don't share the common expectations of the company. And this leads to much, much better quality on the one side. And on the other side, I have direct access to people. I can talk to them, I can manage them, and I can establish my rules and workflows and tools that I need, because I know how to do the projects. I do this since 12 years.
Yeah.
But in a relation with an outsourcing agency, and this was what I experienced with these Indian guys, is more hope. You hope that they are able to tackle this challenge. But this is only hope. It's not a system. It's not a plan. So that is that is most likely to fail. Okay, because if there is no system behind that ensures that the system, the project is delivered,
I don't want to build my company on hope. That's for sure.
Yeah,
no business owner wants that.
And you know what was really exciting? Many people tell that success in remote teams comes from trust. And I experienced the complete opposite thing. Because if I build my company, or if I base project success on trust, this is more like, hope. If you find new people and you put them together to a virtual team within a day they never met, why should you trust them? Because they are smart people, they are good people, maybe. But if you just rely on trust, your project is about to fail. And what we did, we've built a system of workflows, tools, and processes that ensures project success. And with continuous project success and transparency every day, this is a system that helps to build trust, but trust is not the base for success. This is one very, very important learning for me.
Right. Because everybody is very focused on trust. I hear it all the time. Yeah, you got to have trust. And trust is important. It can be the magic glue that binds the team together. But you're right. Systems and workflows and processes, having those in place, I'd prefer that over a team that really liked each other.
Yeah, definitely. So we have KPIs, clear KPIs for the whole project and for each and every role that works in a team. And we monitor this and make it very transparent to everyone in the team. And by seeing that they match their KPIs and everyone is responsible and delivers results, I grow trust in these people. So for example, today, while working almost 8 months with Janet, I trust her 100%. But I trust her because she delivered every day. And not
don't give out her last name, or you're going to have headhunters asking for Janet. She sounds amazing.
Yeah, she knows what she has working with us. They can contact her.
So I'm wondering if you can describe a couple of the systems or workflows or processes that you've got in place, something that has really helped you. It can be really basic, really simple, but I'd like to just, instead of making it abstract, I'd like to make it a little more concrete for listeners.
Yeah, definitely. So on the one side, we have the standard tools, which is Jira, Confluence, Slack. So these are the things for communication and for planning the projects. Then we have a huge documentation for each and every role. We have a clear description what each and every role should do every day. We have so-called expert apps. And these are small apps where experts log in and they see what they should do right now to contribute to the project and nothing else. So this is how they get their driver's seat to be successful in the project. This is a self-developed tool or set of apps. Yes. And then we have this virtual steering team, which consists of HR experts, recruiters, and a virtual operations team and the virtual business analysts team. They support the virtual teams, but they are also virtual teams. They support our virtual teams. So if they face challenges with one person, for example, I mean, you might have faced it in the future. If you are a freelancer, you have a better opportunity. Sometimes you leave the project and jump to the next one. That can happen. So you should not be disappointed in this case. Our people go to HR and tell to replace this person, and they can do that within like 4 hours.
Wow.
And very, very important is that we don't have one person that should do everything. I call this usually role pollution, where you give one person is a developer, and then you ask the developer to do design and QA and DevOps engineers and maybe project management. And this is a huge problem because you expect that this person can do everything, but the person can't. The person is an expert in one specific thing. And if you pollute the role, and even more important, if the person leaves, then all roles and the whole knowledge and know-how is left.
Awesome. So you've got clear KPIs, you've got some tools that facilitate communication, documentation so people know what is expected of them, and then a steering team that sort of helps manage things along the way. Is that
absolutely
kind of, sounds like a great recipe for success. So what do you guys struggle with?
Yeah, taking local people that still work here in this local agency on the journey to fully remote work. You know, if you have a local agency and you run that for like 10 years and people are used to sitting next to each other, they are used to talk to each other, they are used to jump into the next room and scream for help because something crashed, and they get immediately help. At least they feel that somebody is sitting in the same boat and helps them immediately. You don't have that when you work virtually. You need a better structure. And you need very, very good self-organization tools and methods. And most people don't have that. So they mistrust, they being face to face with people sitting in the same room, and they miss that they can rely on direct help from somebody sitting next to them. And this is a challenge to teach people and to educate people, to self-organize them, to use different tools, to talk to people in English, not their domestic language, from all over the world.
Right. So it seems really interesting because people think that working remotely is so easy. You know, we're sitting at home in our pajamas, and maybe we are, but that doesn't make it easy necessarily. So I find it interesting that the struggle is keeping the communication open when we're virtual, being able to figure out how to ask for help and how to self-organize.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprise.
One important thing is that if you work remotely, you enjoy 100% freedom. But to enjoy this freedom, you need to be very, very responsible for your work and for results and for being available and responsive. So that is one thing that people are not used to if they work from 9 to 5, sitting in the office, doing their job, and then leaving the office and everything is done. They don't care after that. So that's a different thing.
So I know a lot of managers are reluctant to let people work remotely because they're afraid that they won't get their work done. But often it seems like the opposite is true. People more are struggling with burnout than they are struggling with laziness. What do you see with the people? Are there some people who are just really lazy, they're trying to hide, or is it mostly, you know, like workaholics?
It's neither the one thing nor the other thing. So I believe burnout comes from if you don't see a sense in your daily work and you are forced to work in a small box, like you have to be there from 9 to 5, you do your task, but you don't know why you should do that and what's the big sense behind that. And if you have freelancers, of course, they are 100% free. They can go wherever they want, work with whom they want, and in which projects they want, but they are self-responsible for their results. And we've established a culture that I don't care when they work, where they work, and how much they work. I just ensure that they deliver results. And they get like the dashboard with KPIs, so they see how their performance is. And that's everything that matters. We want to keep all the rules away from them. Only results matter. And then they see a sense and they know why they contribute and how they contribute. And yeah, as they are free, they can decide to like make a day off if results are okay.
Okay. So then do you have any sort of like an agreement in place with the teams that you work? Like, here's our core hours. Is that part of the documentation for each role? Or so, you know, like here we have core hours, or we want you to be in touch, or this is how often you want to check in. What do you call it?
Yeah, core hours heavily depends on the roles. If you have support teams, of course, they need to work in core hours because they need to deliver SLAs. For project teams, we try to ensure that they work in the same time zone and have an overlap time of 4 hours a day. If we can't ensure that, that's a problem because you need to have your daily stand-ups and need 4 hours to collaborate. On the other side, we sometimes have teams that are on the east and on the west of the world, so they can work 24/7. So one team finishes the day, hands over to the other one, and they continue with the production. So that is the kind of speed that you would never experience when you work only with local people.
Right. Do you have any struggles with time zones in that regard in terms of communication? I mean, it's great. I mean, the benefit of being able to make it work is you have 24/7 online collaboration, but people seem to really struggle with that.
Yeah, in the very beginning you do because you are just not aware of that problem. You just expect that this person responds, but you don't have in mind that this person might be sleeping right now. So you need to plan your day in advance, and that's what I mean when I say you need a very good structure and self-organizing tools. Otherwise you will, if you work with 150 people every day, you don't know who is sleeping, who is working, who is where, and who is off for the day. You need a good structure, and that helps to understand what's going on.
Indeed. So we're coming, I can't believe we're coming to the end of our time. It's getting, that 20 minutes went super fast, but I have a couple more questions. We've just got to dive in. So one is about scaling.
Yes.
So you scaled from 40 to 100 people in less than a year. That's super impressive.
Yes.
I don't even know where to start with the questions. Like, how did you do it, and what challenge did you run into? What tips do you have for others?
Yeah. So one tip is you need a system to ensure that you really have experts, and you really need to understand which experts you need. Never look for a person that can do everything for you. If you find one, this is good luck. But luck is the same as hope. It's not a system. So better if you are a technical person and you know microservices, where you split different services into fine-grained services. This is the same what we do with roles. We call them micro roles. So one person has a specific responsibility, and this person ensures that the responsibility and the KPIs are met. This is a very, very important thing that I want to give to others if they want to start.
Okay, so really it's all about the systems and it's about the KPIs. So what are the results that you're looking for, and then finding ways to measure and check in on the way.
That helps to scale, because if you just find one, if you have responsibilities, very clear and small responsibilities, you can scale. For example, QA is one specific discipline. You can scale QA up to 5 people, up to 10 people, almost on demand with a good HR team. And you can scale it also down if you don't need them anymore. And you don't need to hire people always full-time. You can hire them for like 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week. So that keeps it very, very flexible and scalable.
So what do you like most about this way of working since you've transitioned now? What are some of the things that you personally get out of it?
Speed, quality, and reliability. I love speed and I love results, and with virtual teams, I just have it. I talked to you in the beginning of the show that we've produced a podcast, and I had this idea in Barcelona 3 weeks ago. I was there on vacation. I had the idea to create a podcast. I handed this over to my marketing team. They hired a specialist for podcasts, and now they've created the first episode and set up everything. And I just saw this yesterday by accident, and I was so surprised that, oh, wow, we now have a podcast, and I even didn't know that. So things happen, they happen fast and in unexpected good quality. And that's what I absolutely enjoy.
Yeah, when you get the right people working for you, then it's awesome indeed. Speed, quality, and reliability. Not hope and trust, folks.
No, not hope and trust. Definitely not.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So another question before we end is we talked a little bit before we started the interview about the reluctance that Germany in particular has in starting or adopting remote teams. Germany is not alone. Many, many other countries around the world. Where does this fear come from, or where does this hesitance, do you think, come from in German companies?
Yeah, I think it's a culture that we've grown in the last 10, 20, maybe 50 years. You are used to work with people. You are used to have your administration stuff. You are used to have your clear rules that give you security and that ensure that you are not too responsible if something fails, because you can always tell, okay, I worked according to the process and now it failed, so it's not my fault. And having, that's a human thing. You trust people, and you like if you have people around you. And this is what you don't have. If I close my laptop, I'm alone. And that feels like I'm not safe, I'm not secure in what I'm doing. And if I need help, nobody's there. And this is something, the comfort zone, this is a huge problem. If you leave it, and I had to leave it because my projects were crashing and my whole agency was on risk, I had no other chance. So I always say I was in hell and in heaven at the same time. In hell because it was an immense pressure. I was working 18 hours every day during 2 weeks. And then I slept a week. But I was in heaven because I saw what's possible. And that gave me a complete new vision of where I want to head to with my company.
Indeed. It seems like it's opened up. What you can do with 180 people all over the world is so much more than you can do with 40 people in a local location.
Yes, definitely.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, so second to the last question, what do you advise for people who are just starting out? What would you tell them?
Yeah, just starting out is the right thing. Just try it. Try it with small things. Try to find a remote designer. Try to find a remote virtual assistant, a remote quality assurance expert, maybe even a consultant. I have 10 consultants in my team that I hire occasionally. They help me to do financial planning. They coach me with different struggles that I personally have. All is done remote. I don't need to find a local consultant, which takes 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. I just go to my HR team, tell them I need a consultant or a coach for a specific thing. And next day, the person is there and helps me. And this is a very, very small barrier that you can try even today. And that's good. You experience how it works and that you enjoy results.
So just try it, and don't steal Janet. She's
Definitely. But I'm sure there are many others that really work well as project managers for virtual teams. Just need to try and find somebody.
Totally. So try it, experiment, and try in small steps, I'm assuming. Don't just make your team go remote on day one, like small steps.
Yeah. It was my vision till 2020 to transform my company to a whole virtual team or virtual company. But yeah, as I had these projects, I decided to do it immediately.
Wow. Yeah. You need a new vision since you accomplished it.
And I need to save my customers. Yeah. Because if one project crashes, the next one crashes and people are overwhelmed, some have burnout. What do you want to do? Yeah. You need to do something different. Otherwise you will always get the same results.
Right.
Yeah.
So speed, quality, and reliability. Do not rely on hope and luck. That's for sure. Not if you want to build a real business.
Yeah.
So very last question is, if people want to find out more about you and your podcast, where should they go?
So you can meet me on my LinkedIn profile, Manuel Pistner, or just type FlashHub.io. There you can find the credentials as well. And the podcast is called Virtual Frontier. We will release the first episode next week. And I will tell more about the insights, what I experienced, how I felt, where there are key struggles and key findings during the journey of becoming a full virtual company. And it is still in a transition and we are growing every day. And also we have struggles. I want to share all these experience in my podcast.
Right. It's not all just virtual parties.
No.
It's also very difficult, but not impossible. And
no, it's not impossible.
Yeah, totally the future.
Yeah.
I think, but I'm very biased, of course.
I'm 100% sure.
Okay, well, see, you've heard it from Manuel. You don't have to trust me. So thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. I think I took tons of notes, so I think people will enjoy the show notes for this show. And until next time, everybody, be powerful.